Have you ever been told about a place where history is not just a memory, but a breath that continues to vibrate between the stones so alive that it seems like a dream? Get ready, because we're about to uncover a secret that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about ancient monuments. Welcome to a hidden corner of Italy in the green heart of Molise, and where time seems to have stopped and at the same time to have intertwined different eras in an unexpected embrace. We are not about to visit a simple ruin, but a monument to resilience, to transformation, a Roman jewel that today whispers stories of peasant life, a unique interweaving in the world. Here, Rome's greatness never truly died, it simply transformed, finding a new, surprising way to exist. This place is not just a piece of history, it is a piece of life that continues to pulsate, an enigma of stone and earth just waiting to be revealed. Immersed in this almost surreal silence, the Sepino Amphitheater stands imposing yet discreet. When you look at it for the first time, you have the feeling of being in front of a piece of history that, like many others, lies placidly. Its perfect curves still outline the arena where the echo of roars and applause once filled the air. It was a time, we're talking centuries and centuries ago, when Rome extended its power and culture to these remote valleys. This amphitheater was not a simple building, but the beating heart of a community, the place where social life ignited, where destinies intertwined and people found entertainment and terror, emotion and spectacle. Its stones, so silent today, have seen gladiators fight bravely, ferocious beasts face prisoners, and actors recite epics in a riot of colors and sounds. It was a monument to the greatness of an empire, a symbol of its ability to bring order, law, and yes, even spectacle to every corner of its vast domain. Its function was clear: to entertain, to impress, to reiterate the strength and magnificence of Rome. Every curve, every passage, every step was designed to maximize the spectator's experience, to make him part of something bigger than himself. But time, like a river in flood, has its own way of flowing and shaping the landscape. Centuries have passed, the empire has fallen, and with it the echoes of the fighting have faded until they have vanished altogether. The amphitheater, like many others, could have been transformed into a simple stone quarry, a forgotten ruin, slowly dismantled by nature and men. And in part it was, but here in Sepino something different, something extraordinarily human, happened. A secret has slowly been revealed, a secret that is not made of ancient mysteries, but of the tenacity and ingenuity of ordinary people. It is in the 18th and 18th centuries that this transformation took shape, which still leaves us speechless today. It wasn't a grand imperial project or a grandiose restoration, it was a necessity, a pragmatic decision, dictated by the harsh realities of life. The imperial stones, those that once supported the imposing stands where thousands of spectators sat, have become the foundations, the walls, the roofs of a new life. This is where the story becomes truly unique. The local farmers, people accustomed to working the land, living on little and exploiting every available resource, did not see the amphitheater as a ruin to be contemplated or plundered to build elsewhere. They saw a structure solid and imposing, a shelter, a foundation on which to build their humble homes. And so, with disarming naturalness, they built their stone farmhouses not next to, not around, but directly above the perfect curve of the ancient steps. Imagine it: the thick walls, built with the same stones that had seen the blood of gladiators, now enclosing hearths, beds, simple, industrious lives. Roman magnificence, its imposing architecture, was literally swallowed up by peasant life, not violently or destructively, but with a kind of pragmatic sweetness. There was no intention to erase the past, but to live within it, to make it one's own, to repurpose it for the needs of the present. The amphitheater was not demolished, it was inhabited, breathed, and appropriated. And the details of this integration are even more surprising, almost touching in their simplicity. The underground corridors where gladiators once passed, loaded with their armor, their hearts beating fast before entering the arena, these same passages have been transformed. No longer a place of tension and preparation for combat, but stables. Imagine the sound of cattle hooves, the smell of hay and earth, where the martial footsteps of the fighters once resounded. Cattle, donkeys, and goats found shelter and warmth in the same spaces that had hosted the elite of Roman entertainment. A stark yet profoundly natural contrast, but it doesn't end there. The gates, the heavy, sturdy ones from which wild beasts were released into the arena, intended for deadly encounters, have taken on a completely different role. No more entrances for wild animals, but entrance doors for homes. Yes, you read that right. The same openings through which a bear or a lion might have entered became the doors of peasant families' homes. The gateway to the warmth of the home, the place where children played and mothers baked bread. It's hard not to stop and think about this. A lion and a peasant family who, centuries later, share the same access point, the same stone arch. It's an incredible testament to how life, at its most basic, can adapt, reinvent itself, and always find a way forward. The atmosphere in Sepino is indescribable, almost magical. It's a surreal experience, a journey not only through space but through the ages where time seems to have collapsed. You find yourself walking and see the wheat growing lushly a few steps from the imperial stones, the same ones that centuries ago formed the arena. The intense yellow of the ears of corn blends with the ancient gray of the stone, creating a palette of colors that is itself a metaphor for life and history. It's not a sterile museum, a place where history is embalmed behind a glass case. Here, history can be touched, felt, and breathed. It is a constant dialogue between the most glorious past and the humblest present, a perfect blend of what has been and what is. Ruins aren't just ruins, they're the walls of a house, an animal shelter, the foundation upon which a community has lived there for generations. This place bears witness to the incessant cycle of life, its ability to absorb the essence of what precedes it and return it in a new, unexpected, and, in some ways, even more powerful form. It's no coincidence that the past blends so intimately with the land here. It's an organic, natural process. Nature itself contributed to this fusion, allowing grass and plants to grow between the cracks in the stones, allowing the wind to shape the surfaces. And that the earth welcomed the roots of trees and plants right there where once there was a coming and going of Roman life. It is as if the earth itself had embraced history, digested it, and resurrected it in a totally different way. The greatness of Rome has not been destroyed, it has not been lost. It has simply been refunctionalized, resignified, incorporated into a larger and surprisingly alive context. Farmhouses are not just buildings, they are the symbol of continuity, of a history that is not interrupted but adapts, bends to human needs, and in this way continues to live and tell its story. The Sepino Amphitheater, therefore, is much more than a simple archaeological site. It is a true manifesto, a hymn to an enduring history. It is a place that forcefully reminds us that history is not a static thing, imprisoned in books or museum displays, but a dynamic force, constantly evolving. Here we are not faced with a mere ruin, a monument abandoned to its fate of slow dissolution. No, the Sepino Amphitheater is a living entity, an organism that has been able to adapt, transform, and persist. It is a palimpsest where eras overlap not by chance but by necessity, by ingenuity, by that pure and simple will to live that characterizes the human being. Its stones tell us of a continuous, almost whispered dialogue between distant eras. The voices of the gladiators still seem to mingle with the rustling of the grain, and the echoes of ancient spectacles blend with the laughter of the children who played and still play within those walls. The greatness of Rome met with the tenacity of the peasants, their inexhaustible ability to find solutions, to make do, to make a virtue of necessity. It was precisely this need for survival, this stubbornness in wanting to build a future even among the rubble of the past, that was the driving force that gave new life to what seemed destined for oblivion. The farmers were not conservatives, they were not archaeologists, they were men and women who needed a roof, shelter for their livestock, a place to raise their families. And in the old amphitheater they found all this, not destroying it but transforming it, respecting its structure, shaping their life around its thousand-year-old curves. Sepino teaches us a powerful lesson. History is a traveling companion, not dead weight. It is something that breathes with us, that adapts to our needs, and that, precisely through these unexpected transformations, proves to be immortal. This amphitheater is not just a site to visit, it is an experience to live, a story that continues to be written, stone by stone, generation after generation. It is the perfect example of how the memory of the past can not only be preserved, but reinvented, making it even closer to us, even more a part of our daily lives. It is a hymn to the human capacity to weave together time, to make the sacred profane, the glorious humble, and to find beauty and functionality even where the world saw only an end. Sepino is not just a Roman amphitheater swallowed up by peasant life, it is proof that history is a dynamic entity, capable of resisting, reinventing itself, and continuing to live, incessantly, surprisingly. If this incredible story has fascinated you, don't miss our next journey into the secrets of the past. Click here to discover another mystery.